Hello everyone. In today's session, we will cover fixed asset acquisition through the purchase order, and in this way we will also acquire the fixed asset while posting the vendor invoice. So we will just see the setup for the fixed asset first of all in the parameters form. So I will go to the fixed asset parameters form, and here we need to see certain setting like in purchase order fast tab. Here I will just collapse the other fast tabs. So purchase order fast tab has the setting allow asset acquisition from purchasing. This need to be selected as yes in order for asset creation while choosing the fixed asset group in the purchase line. And then there is another setting called create asset during product receipt or invoice posting. So this also need to be selected yes. So acquisition, basically here the asset acquisition occurs when you post a vendor invoice, and this other checkbox allows creation of the fixed asset when you choose a fixed asset group in the purchase order lines. So these two settings need to be selected here. And then there is also need of posting profile in the acquisition transaction type. We need to have a setting for the group, because here all is selected in the groupings column. So I will just add another one, and the book will be straight line service life method of depreciation, which I discussed in previous video. And then I will select the main accounts as tangible fixed asset in this case, and the offset account I will need to select 300,160 as a clearing account. So this setup and plus the grouping need to be a group, and in the account relation I need to select a fixed asset group. So for this it will be the computers, because I will be acquiring or purchasing a computer through this procedure. So this specific group, always when you select a table, so the table priority is highest, and then the group, and then the all setting will be checked here once you are posting any transaction of acquisition type. So this will be the priority, table, group, and then all. Okay, so after this setting I need to also show you the fixed asset groups. Okay, here we already have a computers fixed asset group, and it is of type tangible. I will just show you the values. There can be intangible, financial. These are all enum values. You cannot add a new value or change the existing value. These need to be in order to classify what kind of assets are there. And major type is definitely selectable, and also you can define a new value here. So here it is a computer hardware type, major type. So these are definable. You can go to view details and you can define a major type. So once I remove the filter here, so this will show all the values, and you can add a new value as well. So this is also for classification purpose. You can add multiple classification to the asset. Then there is a number sequence code for computer that is assigned to a group, and the auto number fixed asset is also yes. Instead of a manual number, you need to auto number and use a number sequence for that. The other settings are like this is a property type of fixed asset. Here continuing property or other is not selected, only fixed asset will be enough. And here capitalization threshold means once you define the value equal to this one or above, so for that fixed asset the depreciation will be selected, otherwise it will be cleared. So there will be no depreciation once the value is lesser than that. So this is the basically fixed asset group, and there are certain books available for these groups like federal book and Federal has 200% reducing balance depreciation method with a service life of 5 years. 5 year multiplied by 12 fiscal periods means 60 total fiscal periods or depreciation periods, and the depreciation will be monthly. So this will be a straight line life remaining, and then a straight line service life method is this one. So again the service life is 5 years, and here calculate depreciation is selected as yes. Depreciation periods are 65 multiplied by 12 months in a year. So the depreciation year is calendar and frequency is monthly. So the other also, as I mentioned in my previous video, you can define as many books as you like in order for the reporting purpose, tax reporting purpose. So in order to show you that these all 4 books are selected in this fixed asset group. So this is it, and then what else? Okay, that's fine now, and we can move ahead with the purchase order. We'll create a new purchase order. I will just start with the beginning. For the new learners, go to accounts payable and go to the purchase order, and similarly you can also go to the procurement and sourcing, and all purchase order form is also available there. It depends upon your role, what rights and roles and duties are assigned to you. So the form appropriate forms will be visible. So I will go to the all purchase order form. There are also like purchase order assigned to me, purchase order received but not yet invoice. These are also variation of the same form. Okay, so here I will just create a new purchase order, and I will select whatever the appropriate vendor is from where I am purchasing the computer set. Okay, and all the values are defaulted from the vendor master. So I will just change an accounting date here. I need to buy it on 1st January. Okay, so the delivery date and accounting date on the header level. You can see it is 1st January 2022, and go to the lines here, and in the lines I will go to the procurement category instead of selecting an item because for the procurement category I don't need to define anything more in detail like warehouse or site. So a broad procurement category I will select. It is in office machines. I can go to computer select category, select OK. Okay, the procurement category is selected, and what will be the unit in which I will be buying this computer. So only one unit is selected, and unit of measure will be each. Okay, that is selected, and unit price need to be, for example, 1000 USD. Apart from this, if I go to the header, there can be certain values which are defaulted from vendor. So for example, there is a cash discount which I will remove it. Cash discount I don't need that. Cash discount is availed when you pay earlier. So then the method of payment and terms of payment like 30 days is already selected, and it is coming or defaulting from the vendor. And then I go to the lines again. Once I selected this, I can check my totals by going to purchase order action pen, and here I can say, see here 1000 is USD and total amount is also 1000. Okay, at the bottom you can see there in the line, once you select any line, so line details are shown. There you can go to the fixed asset tab, and in the fixed asset tab you need to select new fixed asset here. in order to create this fixed asset at the time of product receipt or invoice. So I will select computer as a fixed asset group, which we just saw. I show you the setting fixed asset group. So that is selected, and remaining are disabled values. Okay, so only you need to select check this checkbox new fixed asset and select a fixed asset group called computers. So once you select this, that's it. You need to just confirm this purchase order. For me, the workflows are currently disabled, so your definitely a purchase order need to go under workflow. If it is enabled, change management is enabled, so it will need to go through a workflow. So here purchase order status is now confirmed, and then what else I can do is I can go to the receive action pane here, and then in the product receipt menu item I need to select a product receipt number. Okay, and product receipt date I need to, for example, select, because the accounting date for this PO was January 1st. So for example, on 3rd of January I received the units, and the document date will be the date which is bearing on the vendor or supplier's shipment document. So that date need to be here. Product receipt date is on what date the unit will be available for us. Okay, so then you can go at the bottom and go to the fixed asset fast tab. So here you can see new fixed asset is selected as yes, and fixed asset group is computers. Okay, that's it. And now you need to just post the product receipt. Once it is posted, the purchase order status is changed to the received status. And again, if you go to the fixed asset tab here, you can see that new fixed asset is again selected to no fixed asset group is now there is no value, and a new fixed asset number is created, and that will contain all the settings what were already in fixed asset groups. So I will just show you. Right click over the label and go to view details, and here you can see the computer is created as a fixed asset, and the number is also assigned. This is the fixed asset number. And once you go to the books, okay, so you can see here all 4 books what were available in a fixed asset group are assigned to this fixed asset code or fixed asset number. So here you can see status is not yet acquired. However, there is an acquisition date is mentioned here. Okay, so but status is still open or not yet acquired. So this will be acquired once you post the invoice. Okay, and meanwhile you can also do one thing, like you can filter and open the reports which I showed in previous videos as well, like fixed asset balances report. Okay, here in the records to include, I will filter it down using the fixed asset number for the computers. I will put a filter here. You can also open it and it will show you a lookup, but I already copied the value and pasted here. I will just press OK and OK. So it will show me only this fixed asset, whatever the current values for these assets are. Similarly, you can also duplicate the tab and open any other report if you would like at this stage. For example, I will go to fixed asset module and open the fixed asset transaction as well. Okay, records to include, I will again put a filter here, and in the fixed asset number I will place the newly created fixed asset number. Okay, here you can see a fixed asset number with 4 books available here, and status is set as not yet acquired. Okay, so there is no value because currently vendor invoice has not been posted, which is a financial document. In the fixed asset transaction, there are no transaction because only the code is so far created. Okay, so again I will open another report which is fixed asset acquisition report. And also we saw an inquiry form called fixed asset acquisition. Here also we can put a filter. Okay, so there are no transactions so far. Again, I will open another tab, and because I need to show you whatever transactions are happening with the passage of fixed asset acquisition. So you can go to the fixed asset acquisition report, and here also you can put a filter. In the fixed asset number, you can place a fixed asset number. So here you can see there is no acquisition value. However, the acquisition date is mentioned as the current date. Okay, so current date, which is the asset creation date. So now what we can do is we can go to the purchase order and post the vendor invoice. Okay, so I will go to the invoice action pane and go to the invoice menu item, and here I can put invoice number, invoice to PO 177, and we will also see the fixed asset tab at the bottom. You can see fixed asset number and the book, and transaction type is also acquisition here. So now the posting date, I also need to post it in for example February 1st, but the unit was received on January 3rd. So I will just select January 3rd. Whatever due date is, only posting date is important for the financials. So January 3rd will be the posting date. Okay, I will need to also match three-way matching is enabled. So update match status, which is now passed, and I can check the totals here. Totals is showing 1000 USD amount, and I will post the vendor invoice. So the invoice is posted with the messages that operation is completed now. And okay, so now the point is I need to just refresh my fixed asset balances report. Meanwhile, the inquiry form, you can see here the amount is also shown, and the transaction date is basically the posting date of the invoice. So that is the financial date on which the asset is now acquired. You can see it by updating the report, fetching it again, fetch all the reports again, and the existing filter is already applied. So you can see here the acquisition value is now showing in the report, and the status is shown open instead of not yet acquired. So it means now the asset is acquired with the net book value of 1000 USD. So the whole life is 5 years basically, and net book value is showing total because now the depreciation is not been run so far. Here also you can see the fixed asset transactions which has happened, and for each of the separate book it has shown the acquisition cost and the net book value. Here also you can see in the inquiry form there are 4 different lines per each book, and here you can also see basically the fixed asset acquisition is showing for each of the book. So now we will also check in the ledger module, the ledger integration, what has happened to the ledger. So against this purchase order, we will go to the invoice, and in the invoice journal, In order to see what has happened to GL module, we'll open the voucher here. In the voucher, you can see the offset account which was selected in fixed asset posting profile, which is retained earning, was credited, and debit goes to the tangible fixed asset account 180 and 100. This is tangible fixed asset account. So acquisition transaction has debit to the tangible fixed asset account and credit to the retained earning accounts. So in this way, we have completed the process of acquisition through the purchase order. There can be many variations, like you don't need to just acquire at the time of vendor invoice. Means you can be posting multiple vendor invoices until the fixed asset is acquired, having multiple purchase orders. So that can be a variation. In that case, the parameters settings need to be changed, and we'll cover that hopefully in the future sessions. Thank you very much, guys. Take care. Bye bye.